Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Let's see. It looks like we have three people in the room. If you can hear the audio, would you mind giving me a one in the comments section? I would greatly appreciate it. All right. Thank you so much for that one. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Once again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to tune in to my YouTube live tonight. My name is Okoye Amos, coming to you from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Uh, as always, I'm doing this every Monday night and every Thursday night at 7 o'clock Central Time. And once again, I would just like to say thank you. The subscriptions are growing. The channel is growing. I appreciate so many of the great emails that I've been getting, the great comments that so many people are leaving, the positive comments, and I just want to say thank you for that. Uh, I had no idea that this channel would get the response that it's getting so far. Uh, I only started in, I want to say it was December of 2021. And again, just so many positive vibes that I'm getting from receiving from ladies and also men as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see, we got three in the building, and that's good. All right, so last Thursday, we had a discussion about ex-boyfriends, and it was a great discussion. I actually thought that I said I was going to limit it to 1 hour, and actually it went from it was almost 3 hours, so we almost went to 10 o'clock. So again, my I think I'm going to try and limit it to 1 hour tonight, but phone calls got the coming in last Thursday. Once again, great phone calls, great comments. But tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about moving on because, just to piggyback from last Thursday, again, we talked about the ex-boyfriend. A couple of people had calls as far as comments. Why do exes try and return on the scene? And not only do they try and return on the scene, they come with so much vigor, so much force. It's almost like they're trying 10 times to get you back. 10 times harder to get you back. And those are some of the great conversations that we were able to have on Thursday. So if some of you missed the YouTube live on Thursday, it's still posted. You can go back and view it for yourself. There was also a caller that presented a scenario to me, and based on the scenario that she presented, my assertion was that the guy that she was dealing with was married. If you're tuned in tonight, if you could call in, give us an update. Was I right? Was I wrong? Or did you just give up on it or what? So phone line is on your screen, area code 225-397-6922 if you would like to call in. Again, that's the phone number. Super chats are greatly appreciated. Cash apps are greatly appreciated. Any type of donation that you may be led to give, it will be greatly appreciated. Also, the book is online. If anybody is interested in getting the book, I've been getting some great feedback on that as well. That's one of the things also we're going to be talking about tonight. Not only moving on, but vetting systems. How important are those? They are very, very important, especially in today's dating world. What do I mean by a vetting system? What system do you have in place that's going to weed out the bad guys? What system do you have in place that's going to elevate the good guys? What system do you have in place that's going to create a environment of competing for you? Yes, ladies, men will compete for you. We will compete extremely hard for you, but you got to have the right system in place. I know a lot of comments that I've gotten, some ladies have basically said that they don't believe that men will compete. Well, let me tell you why men will not compete. Men will absolutely not compete if they don't have to. What do I mean by that? See, if you just roll out the red carpet and you just make things so easy and just follow the yellow brick road and, everything is too easy and, you've already told a man that he's your number one priority and, you're doing wifely things with him and you're not even close to being married. So, I mean, why should he compete? And I think you ladies, you have to ask yourself that question. Why should he compete if you have made everything so easy, so simplistic? We will compete when the environment is conducive for competing. And that's one of the things that I feel that a lot of ladies in today's world don't realize, that, yes, men will compete. And the beautiful thing about competing for you ladies is when we are in compete mode, we're locked in on you. See, we're locked in on you, no matter what's in the cell phone, who we may be conversating with. Compete mode drives us to think about you, to wonder what you're doing, to wonder where you at. And that's a good thing. Sometimes, ladies, it's a good thing to keep a man off balance. Keep him wondering, keep him guessing. Don't reveal everything to him in the initial stages. Okay, men already know. Okay, if we are interested in you, we know that there are other men interested in you as well. So keep him wondering. Okay, you can't be available to him every time he texts you, every time he calls you. You just can't be available that soon. Guy texts you and you text him back within 5 minutes or 10 minutes. No, let him sit. He'll be all right. Let him think. One of the phrases I like to use, put him on ice, like a good bottle of wine. He will be just fine. I promise you that. So, again, phone lines are open. Let's see. I need to put my glasses on. I think we got 15 in the building. Okay, any comments? Feel free to leave your comments. But again, we're going to be talking about moving on. What are we moving on from? We're moving on from that ex. What's the first thing you need to do when you're moving on? The first thing to do when you're moving on is you got to have the proper mentality. In other words, moving on may require that you take some time off from dating. It may require that you just say, you know what, I'm just going to pump the brakes for a little while. I'm just going to take some time off and regroup and gather my thoughts and rethink about this whole process and just go back and start thinking about past relationships and analyze those relationships and ask yourself, okay, where did it go wrong? Where did things start to fall apart? At what part of the relationship did things start to go bad or whatnot? And then ask yourself, well, and what part of the relationship was good? And I think if you take an honest assessment of those things, you're going to start to find some very, very, very common denominators in your assessments. Let me pull up a chat real quick. Hold tight. All right, somebody said, please make a live stream, you guys, so that more people can see it and come in and ask questions. All right, thank you so much for that comment. I'm sorry, she says, please like the live stream, you guys. Thank you for that, Amy Sue. Thank you for that. Yes, please like the live stream. Lady Ray says, hey, everyone. L.A. Peaches says, period. Does that LA stand for Louisiana, or is that Los Angeles? Miss Peaches, I would like to know. You might be my homegirl. Lady Ray said, I took roughly 4 months. It helped me to be able to discern much better. That was an excellent move, Lady Ray. So again, when we're talking about moving on, moving on, once again, may require you to just back up or, call a timeout and reassess what's going on. Because a lot of times, when we talk about moving on and getting back on the horse again and dating again, sometimes we really have not healed up properly. And then if we have not healed up properly, that same cycle that we just talked about Thursday could happen again. What is that? The ex comes back, or he tries to come back. Now, depending upon how long that relationship lasted, depending upon how deep your feelings were for him, depending upon how much time that you had invested with him, all those things play a factor. And guess what? Men know that. Men know, okay, we were only together 6 months. I'll try and reach out and contact her and see if there's a chance of us getting together. But in the back of our minds, we know 6 months, that's not really a lot of time, unless it was 6 months of a connection, an extremely strong connection. So some guys are, you may have been with a guy longer than 6 months. Let's say 2 years, 3 years. You see, when we start talking about 4, 5, 6 years, 2 years, things of that nature, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of connections. That's a lot of soul ties that have been developed. And then a lot of times, if you have not healed up properly from that, the ex is coming back, or he's going to try. See, when I first started making videos, one of the things I used to start off with my videos was I would say, imagine that I had a crystal ball in my hand. And then I would describe, to some of the ladies, some of the men that they have met or allowed in their lives. Let me tell you a secret about men, ladies. See, men, especially your exes, we wish that we had a crystal ball in our hands, and we wish that we could just be able to see, even though you have kicked us to the curb and you may be in a new relationship, but we wish we could see the times or the times that you had an argument with your new boyfriend, or the times that you felt maybe this new boyfriend I'm with, maybe he's not the one. Why do we wish that? Because it's the V word. See, that V word is vulnerability. And if we had a crystal ball, especially your exes, and we can see, oh my goodness, her new boyfriend pissed her off. See, if we knew that exact time in which that happened, man, we'd pick that phone up and say, hey, Tracy, how you doing? This is Timothy. I was just calling to say, hey, see how you were doing? Just checking on you, just let you know, I miss you, and hopefully we could, talk and get back on track one day. You'll just drop a line just like that. If we had that crystal ball and we could see for 100, if we knew 100% with 100% certainty that you had that argument with your new boyfriend, or he did something to piss you off, boy, we wish we had a crystal ball. We'll hit you up right then. But guess what? Since we don't have a crystal ball and we don't know those things, that's why we pop up what? Periodically. That's why periodically you'll get that text, or periodically you'll get that phone call, or periodically, something, some type of contact will come from your ex. Why? Because we're guessing, and we're hoping that we guess right. What do I mean by we're hoping we guess right? We're hoping that we guess right that things are rocky in your new relationship. Things aren't going as good as they were in the beginning, and we're hoping that, okay, well, things are kind of on the rocks with her new relationship. I might be able to slide back in that back door, and who knows what could happen. So you got to be very, very, very aware of these things, young ladies, because, again, your ex always thinking, always coming up with ways, always coming up with schemes. The majority of them anyway. All right. Sometimes, guys would just go ahead and just take the loss and say, you know what? I had one of the best women that I ever had in my life. I messed it up. I can accept the fact that she chose to end the relationship, and I'm just going to let her move on and live her life. I'm not going to bother her. I would estimate that may be 30% of the guys, 3 out of 10, that have that attitude. The other 7, like, man, I'm coming back. Nope. Nope. All right, Peter says just L.A. like LaToya. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for clearing that up. Lady Ray says, when should I move from emailing to giving my phone number when he wants to plan the first date? Give me an update real quick, Lady Ray. Have you put it in motion? And he accepted your email address and he reached out to you? If you don't mind. Now, I'm glad she brought that up as well, because one of the man, we got some very astute people out there, because a lot of people have purchased the book, and they've brought to my attention some of the things that I've said on my broadcast, but I skipped that are in the book. And that's why, again, people, it's real important if you get the opportunity to get the book, because the book is going to have all the steps from A to Z, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to whatever. And sometimes with the schedule that I have, especially the teaching schedule that I have, a lot of times when I go on live or when I make a video, I just go on cold, and I'm really just going on things that are in my head or in my mind. But going back to the phone number, what Lady Ray was to the question that she presented, see. It's 2 things that I highly recommend you ladies do that have dummy accounts. Number one, you have a dummy account for your email, and that email is just going to be an account just strictly for dating. And then number 2, I highly recommend that you ladies get a dummy cell phone, one of these cheap track phones, you know what I'm saying. These phones that like Walmart have with, the family mobile plan, straight talk wireless, where you can, you can get unlimited calling for like $19 a month, something like that. That's just my advice, because again, see that the vetting process to me is the most important part of the relationship, especially for ladies, because once again, I'm a firm believer that this is where the relationship is either won or lost in the initial stages. So I highly recommend, 1, you set up a dummy account with a dummy email account, and then 2, have a disposable phone. And then once he goes through that process, then you could eventually give him your real phone number. But going back to your question, Lady Ray, I recommend maybe it's going to depend on you, but I recommend the 3rd date. That's what I would recommend, the date in which you actually give him the phone number of the dummy phone, hopefully, that you have. Now, if you feel comfortable giving him your real phone number, hey, that's totally up to you. Some people have thrown out Google, Google Voice. Hey, that's totally up to you. But just knowing men, and I'm not an expert on a lot of things, but I'm an expert in men, because I am one. I would highly recommend for you ladies to invest in one of those cheap $19 phones, as long as it rings. As long as it rings, and as long as, it rings. That's all you need. So you don't have to go overboard, but okay. Good. Lady Ray, you need to call in. She said, yes, he's been emailing me, and I've been putting him. There you go. Put his ass on ice. There you go. I'm proud of you. Lady Ray, you got to call in. I got to commend you. There you go. Put him on. Ladies, Lady, I'm telling you, Lady Ray on to something. Ladies, Lord, if y'all only knew how men operate. See, Lady Ray is winning so many ways. Number one, she has him in compete mode. And that's what I keep trying to tell you, ladies. When a man is in compete mode, he may be dealing with some other females and some other contacts in his phone, but our mind is locked on you. That's just how it is when we're in compete mode. Now, see, if Lady Ray would have played, she would have been easy and got in his rotation with that cell phone, no, it wouldn't even be going down like it is. I hope you call in, Lady Ray. I would really like to hear from you. But if you don't, I totally understand. But ladies, Lady Ray is understanding her female leverage, because that's part of what this is based upon. See, like I always say, you got to know your female leverage. What is female leverage? Number one is natural. What does leverage mean? Leverage means using the least amount of effort to gain the maximum amount of results. The least amount of effort. And that's what she's doing right now. So she's utilizing her female leverage. She has him in compete mode. She has him not only respecting her, but respecting what she's doing. You think whoever the young man is that Lady Ray met, he knows what's going on, but ladies, you got to have some standards in place. See, men, we love to see a woman with standards. We go crazy over that. This lady has there's a reason why he's emailing you now. See, and another thing I always tell ladies, you got to remember that men, we can meet you for the first time and we can just look at you and just say, okay, I place her in wife material category just like that. Now, does that mean we're going to marry you? Hell no. No, what I mean by that is we can look at you, we'll look at your demeanor, we look at how you carry yourself, how you're dressed, your character. We just analyze the whole thing and say, you know what, wife material right there. Now, it's up to you to drop the ball and fall out that wife material to something down here like a booty call or F-buddies or friends with benefits. Now, you can drop the ball. Now, how you drop the ball? Move too fast. You're not doing what Lady Ray is doing. You don't have a vetting system in process. You know, he walked up to you, you showed him all 32 of your teeth, you gave him your phone number within 5-10 minutes. He said, thank you. And he just got your phone number. Now he getting ready to work his magic. Because now your female leverage has been transferred to him. Now, as long as Lady Ray keep going by the blueprint, that female leverage is going to stay on her side. He's going to stay in compete mode. He's going to continue to respect her and respect what she's doing. You want that, ladies. You got to make that man respect you and respect what you're doing. That's very important. Why? Because that's what men are looking for. It shows that you have what? Standards. You got morals. You got values. Those are the type of thing men are looking for when they're talking about choosing a wife. A lot of men out there are looking for a wife, want to be settled down, want to be in committed relationships. Now, you could take that same man that wants to settle down, wants to have a wife, wants to be in a settled relationship, and he'll take sex all day of the week if you give it to him. That same man who I just talked about, who's looking for a wife, who's looking for, someone, a significant other to build something with, he'll take sex from you all day long, get tired of your sex, and kick you to the curb. Well, I thought you said he was a good man. No, he played it how you played it. That's what I'm trying to get you ladies to understand. Well, you just said he was a good man. He is, but he's going to play it how you play it. Now, he's going to say, well, I did look at you as wife material in the beginning, but since you played it in the fast lane, okay, we're going to go down, I'll put you down to F-buddies or friends with benefits and just kick it with you until Mrs. Right comes along. That's what I'm trying to get you ladies to understand. You know, come on, ladies, got to think. I've been a man 54 years. I don't have any skin in the game. I'm like Teddy Pendergrass, but Teddy Pendergrass said he was a 2-time loser. I'm an 8-time loser. So that's why I try and give some of this knowledge out. It's real out here. And ladies, men, trust me. Men, we're going to sit back, we're going to be quiet, and we're going to watch how you play it. And however you play it, ladies, we're just going to adjust. We ain't going to say nothing. You say, oh, yeah. Oh, you like to twerk, huh? Oh, yeah. You talking about sex on the second date. You told me how fine and sexy I was on the second. Can't do that. Nope. Some of you ladies, some of those pictures you got on social media, you got to change some of those pictures up. Because the man, like I said, he's just going to be quiet, see how you play it, and however you play it, men, we're going to adapt. All right, so, again, 728, somebody say preach, somebody say tell them, yup. People, listen. Again, there's some good men out there. They really are. Great men out there. But always remember the great men, the good men, ain't turning down no sex. They ain't turning down no sex. That's not in our nature. Very seldom you're going to find a man out there that's going to turn down sex. Very seldom. Very seldom. And I think in today's age, what I see going on so much in today's dating world. Okay, we're all human. We all have needs, wants, and desires. But ladies, please understand. You have to understand when you have sex with a man so early in the relationship, what else is there? See, men are gonna look at it like, well, sex, okay, we've been having sex. Well, that's the basis of our relationship, just sex. Well, he told me he wanted to be in a committed relationship. Yeah, he told you that, but that was only talk. Well, he told me that I was his girlfriend. That's only talk. Somebody called in last Thursday, and I was telling her, stop listening to what comes out of men's mouths. Does it sound good? Hell yeah, it sounds good. But it's a good chance he's only saying what he thinks you wants to hear. And men, we're the masters at that. Man, you think, oh, look, Jennifer, look. I think we need to take this to a whole nother level. Look, let's be in a monogamous, committed relationship where only you and I see each other only. And some ladies, you go for that. Well, that's what he said, but that's talk. That don't mean nothing. Let me get this phone call. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello.
Oh, hi. I wanted to give you a compliment. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Sabrina. I'm calling from North Carolina.
Ooh, North Kakalaki.
Yeah,
Ah,
I
you on that tobacco road?
No, I'm not. I'm in a city part.
Oh, you're in the city? Well,
Yeah,
thank you so much for calling in. You got a comment? You got a question? What's going
yeah.
on?
But I just wanted to thank you. I have to call you and thank you for what you're doing with the videos and your book. I bought the book and read it in a day.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I emailed you as well, and you answered and everything. And then I did I didn't know all of this stuff about. I didn't know how men thought. I did not know that. So I educated myself by listening to you and reading the book and so forth. And today I went to the gym and I noticed a guy checking me out, and I was thinking about you. You were in my head, and I was like, oh, I see what he's saying. Like he's trying to read me and trying to figure out my ways and so forth. Now he didn't. He just spoke to me. He didn't say anything else, but I think he's going to sit back and be patient and see if I come again to the gym and so forth and try to read me and make a move later on. But I would have never known any of that if you didn't put this stuff out there on YouTube.
Thank you so much. What have you learned from the book, if you don't mind me asking?
Just the way men think and how you have to. You guys like. That's why you like to watch the game so much. You like the competition. You like when stuff is not easily thrown at you. It doesn't matter what the woman looks like. If she's easy, y'all accept it, but y'all dismiss it immediately. But if it's someone that has standards, they have your attention much longer,
Yes.
and you fight.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you're not, then you got to start from day one. You can't start in the middle of a relationship, and when you're having problems, you got to start from first contact. That's
Very
how
true.
you set the stage, and it's natural. It's not anything that just because you're putting it out there, it's not going to go away. Yeah, you're educating us, but that's just the way men work. That's the natural makeup of men.
That's right.
So if they know that in advance, they will be better off.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you so much for those kind words. Thank you for spending your hard-earned money on my book. I really appreciate that, and thank you for your comments. Now, see that guy that was checking you out in the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, he's stepping to you. Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
And remember this. I want you to remember this. Okay, if you are attracted to him, nothing wrong with that, but have that system in place, because now you should be at least 3 steps in front of him. At least 3.
Right.
Easy.
Well, I tell you,
He's
I
coming.
do have.
I'm sorry.
I do have. Email. I'm going to tell you, I do have my email in place.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Don't be a stranger. And once again, thank you so much for purchasing the book. Thank you for calling in. And thank you for the kind words, because you know, when you tell me those things, it lets me know that some of the things that I'm talking about is resonating.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the story behind why I wrote the book. In 1994, I was in a relationship, and the person who I was in a relationship was pregnant, and it was March of 1994. I never forget it, but she had a miscarriage, and so it was a very, very, very traumatic time for me, because I was looking forward to being a father, but it was a strange thing that happened. Even though she had a miscarriage, I always envisioned that the child would be a girl. I don't know why, and so you know, I calculated the months, and her birth would be, you know, somewhere in January 1995. So I've always celebrated, even though I know y'all thinking, man, this man's lost his mind. Even though it was a miscarriage, even though the baby was never born, even though if the baby was born, maybe it may not have been a girl, I've always envisioned she was going to be a girl, and the birth date was January of 1995. And so a strange thing happened. I've always celebrated January 1995 as my daughter's birth.
Wow.
And then 96, you know, January 96, she would have been 1. So I would imagine myself doing things with her at, you know, 1 year old, watching her take her first steps, or feeding her in a high chair. And then, you know, in 2000, she would have been 5 years old, you know, outside in the streets, trying to teach her how to ride a bicycle without training wheels. And in 2005, she would have been 10. And I think about some of the things that I would have done with her, you know, going to ballet lessons, things of that nature. And then, you know, as the years started to roll around, when she, you know, 15, 16, I started thinking, you know, this the time where she'll, you know, biology would start to kick in, and she'd be interested in boys. And so I would imagine myself telling her, okay, this is how men act. This is men's nature. And so that
Mhm.
whole book was basically just mental notes that I had around the time my daughter would have been, 15 or 16. And I was just telling her, this is how men are. I was telling her about female leverage, telling her about how to train men like a dog. The same way you could train a dog how to roll over, sit, and stay. You could train a man the same way. So
Right.
that's where the book came from. Just
Wow.
me imagining myself talking to my daughter. And that's why if you read the book, I said it's dedicated to my daughter, Daphne Renee, because that
Mhm.
was the name that was going to be selected for her, Daphne Renee. So
Oh.
I know I know you may be looking at me like this man has lost his
No,
mind.
that's, oh my
But
goodness.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but that's sweet. Oh my goodness. But I understand that that happened, and you planned on doing that with your daughter, but and later on you decided to do it with plenty of other women out here that you know like your daughters. We're like your daughters by you telling us this. So it's a blessing.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And don't be a stranger, especially when that guy in the gym approaches you, because if you vet him right, and again, if this is somebody who checks all of your boxes, if you think he's the guy, the man of your dreams, hey, a wedding should be around the corner. Well, I wouldn't say around the corner, but a wedding should be in your
Mhm.
future.
Yes. Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one question before we hang up? You thought about telling your daughter this. Why don't some of these other fathers or brothers tell their family members about this? Why
I
don't they
know.
break it down?
Exactly. You know what? Now, I can't speak for all men, but
Okay.
okay, I think some men, okay, in my situation, it's a daughter that in my mind, well, okay, it's a daughter that never manifested, but it's like even though it was a miscarriage, we had that connection. But
Mhm.
I think some men that have a daughter and they can actually tell her some of the same things that I'm saying. I think they may be afraid that that daughter may look at them and say, "Damn, daddy, you that's you then. You
Mhm.
you were going around breaking girls' hearts. You were going around doing, playing games and lying and manipulating and cheating and going to the strip clubs, and you had good women in your life, and you just kicked them to the curb or whatnot. And I think a lot of men, that father and daughter relationship is very, very special. And
Mhm.
I think a lot of men are like, man, I can't tell my daughter I did all that dirt,
Mhm.
even
Mhm.
though it may open her eyes to some of the things that she should be looking out for. So I,
Right.
I I think a lot of guys are like, man, me and my daughter, we got a special bond, but I can't
Mhm.
tell her some of the dirt that I did, because she may not look at me as daddy anymore. She may look at me as a low down piece of scum. So,
Mm.
like I said, I can't speak for all men, but I think that may
Okay.
play a part in it, because
Mhm.
it takes a very, very, very special man to be able to love his daughter so much that he's willing to just lay it on the line and say, "Look, I hope you don't look at me in a disrespectful way, but this is how men are." Because
Right.
it wouldn't take a genius for her to figure out, well, damn, daddy, if you know all this, then guess what? You must have lived that life.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's just my take on it. But
That's a good way of looking at it. I never thought about it that way. I
yeah,
just thought it
yeah.
was
Did you and your father, were y'all were you guys close?
my brother.
No, your father.
Yeah, not in that capacity right there.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
So yeah, and I have a brother too, and older brother didn't tell me nothing.
yeah, 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 yeah. And,
Yeah,
and, and
he break,
it's a sad state, but it doesn't make you less than a man. Uh,
mhm,
Nobody's perfect, and
right.
I have a past like anybody else. Am I proud of my past? No, not even close. But you know, it's phone calls such as yours. It's comments such as the comments that a lot of ladies have left on my videos. It's emails that I've been receiving
Mhm.
that lets me know that I'm really, really, really helping a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Even though some of the things that I've done and some of the
Mhm.
things that I witnessed my father do, and then some of the things that his father did. So
Yeah.
it's a slippery slope. But at 54 years, where I am in life, I'm at the point where shit, hell with it.
Hey, hey, you like I done did.
The hell with it. 54. Hey,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
I definitely going to teach this to my daughter. She's 8 years old, and she's going to learn this year too, so she can be ahead of me.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much for
All
writing the
right,
book and
all right. Have a good
videos.
night.
Bye
All right,
bye.
all right. Bye bye. All right, that was an excellent phone call. Ira W said, "Yep, my dad breaks down everything. I'm sorry, everything down to me, and I sometimes see some of the the mannish traits he tells me to look out for in him. My uncles too." Thank you for that comment, uh, Ira W. I really appreciate it. And again, it goes back to what I said. You really have to have that. You would have to love your daughter that much because it's a sometimes it could go left, and especially if let's say that daughter, father, and the daughter's mother, especially if they're not together, and that daughter may say, "Well, wait a minute, I see why you and mother's not together. You caused that." So some guys, some dads maybe they're like, "Man, I love my daughter, but I can't tell her all the dirt that I did. Or I can't tell her some of the dirty things that men do." Because again, sooner or later she'll put two and two together and say, you didn't get that out of a book. You did that, pops. You know. Yep, but everybody has a past. That's just a part of life. Okay, phone lines are open. Anyone like to call in? Somebody said yes, thank you. It's helping me heal. See, thank you for that comment, Paris. Healing is very, very, very important. Because again, if we're not healed from that relationship, and sometimes we may jump the gun and get into another relationship. Like I said, even if that ex doesn't even try and come back. Sometimes you can have so much time invested in a person, and then, as the old folks call it, soul ties. What are soul ties? That's when you come, that's when, you're having sex with a person so much you don't even realize that you actually are tied to that person in a sexual manner. In other words, okay, you may have broken up, but you still thinking about that person in a sexual way. And a lot of times those soul ties can be so strong where you think that you've gotten that person out of your system, but in actuality, that person really isn't. You're still thinking about that person in a sexual way. You're still thinking about, well, look, I know he's a low down dirty dog, but damn, he was good in the sex. So, this new guy I'm with, he's so. Well, shit, the hell with it. I just called Percy up so people, look, let me tell you something. Nothing new under the sun. I'm 54 years old. All right, 54. I know people right now, my age, still dealing with people they went to high school with. How many years ago is that? What is that? Almost 40 years ago? Soul ties. Say 40 years ago, still, man, what you mean, Pops? They're married, and the person that they met used to mess with back in high school married, but they still hook up. College, same thing. College, back in the mid-'80s. He married, got a family. She married, got her family. They come home for homecoming and get together. Soul ties. Girl, you always gonna be mine. I don't care who in the picture. Yeah, you always gonna be Big Daddy. I don't care who's in the picture. So, the old folks say, well, let me leave that alone. But anyway, people, it's a powerful thing. Got to be careful. It's got to be careful who you let in and out of your life. All right, Coach Patty said, so in your opinion, does that mean, does that mean men who behave this way are okay with these male tactics being played on their daughters? That's a good question, Coach Patty. And I was just, Coach Patty, just for clarification, I was just making that as a suggestion. I don't know for sure why some men would not choose to have these candid type conversations with their girlfriends. Now, to answer the last part of your questions, you know, the majority of men who've done so much dirt in their lifetime, as far as wrecking homes and wrecking relationships and, you know, lying and the cheating and the adultery and all that, the fornication, the majority of them who have daughters, if they find out that's happening, the majority of those men are ready to hurt the guy who inflicted pain on their daughters. That's just my experience. So again, I was just making a suggestion, Coach Patty. I can't say with 100% certainty why men do not have those honest conversations with their daughters, but that's just, you know, one of the things that I think, because see, every man wants to seem like his daughter's hero. You know, the girl goes off to school, she brags on her daddy. You mess with me again, I'm going to tell my daddy. My daddy can beat your daddy. And you know, fathers, they want to keep that image of being a hero in their daughters' lives. So sometimes if that means, I can't tell you daddy told this girl, got this girl pregnant and told her to get an abortion, can't tell you that. No, you're going to look at daddy in a whole different way. But a bunch of daddies got girls pregnant and they lied to him and said, you know what? You still gonna be in my life. I'm not ready to be a father. Have the abortion. We're gonna get back together. Girls went and had their abortion. The man say, know what? Bye. So, hey, nothing new under the sun, people. All right, dresses and heels has my boyfriend. Ooh, thank you, Miss Joseph. I wish Miss Joseph would call in. She said, dresses and heels has my boyfriend treating me better and working harder not to lose me. There you go. There you go, Miss Joseph. Now, trying to tell you ladies about male nature. Why is that working for Miss Joseph? Dresses and heels. It's called femininity. We love it. Why? Because we are masculine. We love femininity. When we see your nails and your feet and your hair is made up, we love that. But I'm gonna tell you something, ladies. When you got your nails done and you got what you call that, the beat, your makeup and all that, that's flawless and all that. But sometimes, ladies, when you come out in those Lululemons, those leggings, those, sometimes that's like, oh Lord, you was right there, girl. Now, listen, who am I to tell anybody how to dress? But that doggone dress and the heels just exudes femininity. Why? Because that attracts masculinity. We love to see you soft. Man, look. The softer you are, the more masculine we're going to be. And I think that comment that Miss Joseph just put up proves my point. She said, let me put that in the chat, I'm sorry. She said, dresses and heels has my boyfriend treating me better and working harder. Hello, caller. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, this is Ray.
Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Ray calling from Baltimore. Lady Ray in the chat.
Ah, thank you so much for calling in, Lady Ray. Now, where are
No
you from?
problem. I'm originally from Jersey. I live in Baltimore.
You live in Boston?
Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore. Yes, yes. Thank you for calling in. What's your question
Yeah.
or comment?
Well, you kind of answered my question already about the email address. Like when to move from email to phone number.
Hmm.
Can you hear me okay? I'll take off my headphones. If not.
No, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Fill me in from A to Z. I mean, first of all, if you don't mind, but
Yeah.
if possible, where did you meet him at, and how did he approach, and how did you handle the whole situation?
Sure. So I met him on a dating app. Like, well, I haven't met him in person, so I guess that doesn't qualify. Um, and we talked for a brief moment, and then he wanted to move on to texting and saying all this stuff about, wanting to take me out, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, I'm not too comfortable with that as of yet. I like to move typically a little slower. So how about I give you my contact information? And I gave him my email address and I just waited for his response, thinking like, okay, he's just going to disappear. And then, I'll have weeded out, another guy. And he says, okay. And then he emails me. So I was like, okay. He made it through, I guess, that first checkpoint. And I put him on ice for a little bit. And yeah, it's been okay so far. Nothing I like going home about or anything. But
Yeah. Now, for the people who don't understand what we're talking about,
mhm.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, for the people who are listening, you don't understand what we're talking about when she said put him on ice. Put him on ice just means that you have a break, an extended break. I recommend 24 hours, maybe 48, for some instances 72, where he contacts you and you just don't respond. Why?
Mhm.
Why is that important? Because see, Lady Ray has him exactly where she wants him because he's in compete mode. See, when men are in compete mode, see, now we're focused on you instead of we take the female leverage from you and then you focused on us. So now he's in compete mode. She still has her female leverage. He likes the process that she's sending him through, because trust me, men, we understand. And she's sending a message that right now, in the initial stages, you are not priority number one. See, ladies, that
Yeah.
is so important. I don't care how attracted you are to him. If you are attracted to him, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you have to let a man know in the initial stages, yes, I am interested in you, yes. But right now, you are not priority number one. Make his behind work. That's when
Mhm.
that's when we go into mode, that mule mode, where you can just put that harness on us and we ready to go plow that field. Oh, we ready to work then. And so again, see, ladies, you have to understand, men love to work for your attention. We love that. But you may be saying once again, well, men aren't doing that today. You got to take assessment. Look at some of the things that you've been doing, and I'm pretty sure you're going to find out I made it too easy for him in the initial stages. In other words, why should he work? If you just laid everything out for him in the initial stages, you just made it too easy. Can't do that. I'm sorry, Lady Ray, continue.
No, that's been it so far. That was what's today's date of the 11th. We started writing on the ninth, well, emailing on the ninth. So I've kind of just been responding, giving it like 3 hours, 12 hours
There you go.
in between. He emailed me this morning at 9 a.m. and actually forgot, like I didn't intentionally put him on ice. I forgot. So that's 12 hours. But now that I recognize, I probably will wait like a full 24 hours.
That's fine. Hey,
Um,
that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you remain, as long as you keep your female leverage, as long as the process is going the way you want it to go, you're doing just fine. I promise you on that.
One
Now,
question I did have, as far as the actual conversation via email,
hmm
it should be a lot more thorough than text, correct? Like it shouldn't just be his convenience to just send, one word, two words, or whatever, like a small chat. It should be like well thought out and precise, like as if you were writing an email, correct?
yeah, is he expressing an interest in taking you out in the emails?
Yeah, so he said that before we went to email. So he said that, and then I kind of, well, I didn't kind of, I just said, I'd like to take it a lot slower because I really don't like to meet for dates unless I've spoken to them and built some type of a rapport.
hmm
So we moved through to email, and we've just been keeping it fairly light, but it's more so been him answering like tough questions as far as like his dating background and stuff like that. And he's been super open, and I've just kind of been not volunteering information, just waiting for him to ask.
hmm
He did ask, this is funny, he asked the famous question like, oh, you're so pretty, a great girl like you, why are you single? And I said, let me see, I said, I just haven't had anyone to give me an offer that I couldn't refuse. And I left it at that instead of, like diving into anything. I don't really feel like he deserves that accent out of it right now.
hmm
Um, so yeah, that's just,
Well, you
I'm
are
not
in a
sure, was that okay?
you are in a good position. Once
Okay.
again, I would highly recommend that. Okay. So he emailed you first. So how many emails have gone back and forth? Would you estimate?
I'm looking at it right now. 1, 2, 3, 14.
Okay.
14.
Okay. So all right, is this someone?
15 since the ninth.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you have the book, but I'll just go ahead and tell you what I recommend.
Okay.
If this is a person that so far, you like what you're hearing from him, because once again, you got to remember, all it is text.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. But if this is someone who is checking your boxes so far, he's being respectful. He hasn't gotten out of line. He's not asking you to send you, pictures and things of that nature. He respects what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I would advise you to consider. I'm guessing you two are in the same town.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing wrong with going out on a date just to meet up with him, but I would highly recommend,
Mm-hmm.
once again, you pick the place, you pick the time,
Mm-hmm.
and you pick the location. That's just me. I would also recommend that you meet him there. Don't ride in the same car with him, because once
Right.
again, you're going through a vetting process. And then I would also recommend, this is just me, that the date only lasts 1 hour, because
Okay.
the goal of the date is to acquire information. I think you should treat it just like a job interview, where you're looking at him, you're asking questions, you're answering questions, and you're trying to see if there's a connection, if you have some mutual interest in common, and if there's chemistry. We all know the importance that chemistry plays. Is there a connection? So if those things are there, like I said, I recommend that the date lasts 1 hour, no more, because anything over that, that's when that natural instinct to dominate that's in all men is going to start to kind of rise up, where when we look at the watch and we say, well, wait a minute, the date started at 7 o'clock, now it's 9 o'clock. Okay, that's 2 hours. Okay, she really must be feeling me. She really likes me. Let me see if I can extend this date. And then that's when we'll say, you know what? Let's go to this place. And so when we
Mhm.
start making those suggestions, what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep you out. Because if we extend the date,
Right.
we're thinking that, okay, you like us already. If you hang out with me some more, there's a good chance that you'll start liking me some more. Maybe eventually, if we're lucky, the date could end up back in my place or your place. So to just throw water on all of that fire,
Mhm.
I would recommend the date lasts no more than an hour. You get in your car, you give him a nice greeting at the end where, again, you tell him, listen, I really enjoyed the date. I enjoyed your company. That's it. See,
Right. And give
you
a
have to
handshake.
you have to understand. See, men, all we want to know is that we have a foot in the door and we're in the game. So that's why I
Right.
always recommend to ladies to always give a man at least a small, maybe one, maybe two small compliments at the end of the day, such as, I really enjoyed our time together. See, that's all he needs to know. Because men, all we want to know is, okay, she really enjoyed our time together. I'm good. I'm in here. And it really doesn't have to be any more than that. I don't recommend any hugging. I don't recommend any kissing. What I
Mhm.
recommend is, again, a slight,
Handshake.
there you go. That's what I recommend. Because in other words, don't just end the date with a handshake. You got to tell him how you feel. Not,
Okay.
not, I'm head over heels with you. Not you sexy AF. Not you got my body on fire. None of that. I really enjoyed our time together. Something just so simple that he understands, okay. This lady likes me. It's up to me to continue my pursuit of her to increase her likeness for me. That's all you need to do.
Mhm.
But, you know, that
And
that hugging
so,
and that
in
kissing, he's going to try you. And you got to be ready for that. Go ahead.
in regards to what you were just saying about the date, I did watch one of your videos, and my only concern would just be with recommending the place and the time and all that,
Mm-hmm.
that I would be acting too much into my masculine energy.
Mm.
Um, and
No.
I know the goal is just to vet them and to understand like if there's a connection and everything like that. But let's just say if we do move past that first date, then I'm asking him to take the reins back, but I've already taken them. That's just my only concern. I definitely understand everything you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. Let me help you out with that. See,
Okay.
men, we very, very calculating. We
Mhm.
know we know 2 + 2 = 4. We know 4 + 4 = 8. We know 5 + 5 = 10. Okay. See, if you allow us to set the date, the time, the location, the place, if you allow us to do that, see, we're calculating.
Okay.
See, it could be something as innocent as going bowling. And you can say, well, bowling, how innocent is that? But it's the act. It's when we start calling the shots. See, the bowling is going to be 1 + 1 = 2. Now we're trying to figure, okay, how do we get to 10? 5 + 5 = 10. So if you go bowling with us, I guarantee you he got a plan B in mind that same night after bowling. Now, it may go from let's go to bowling to let's go to a movie. Or it could be let's go to a restaurant. You go to a restaurant, you have dinner. But I guarantee you that's not the only thing he has in mind for that first date. He'll say, okay, let's have dinner. Let's meet for dinner. Okay, you meet for dinner. Now in his mind, he's calculating. Okay, she's laughing, she's giggling, she's showing me her teeth, she's showing me that she's into me, and nothing wrong with that. But in his mind, okay, we got to go somewhere else. Let's go to the movies. Let's go to a jazz club. Let's go to a comedy club. See, it's All of these things are calculations to lead to a particular ending. And if you don't understand what that particular ending is, that doesn't mean that he's going to try and have sex with you that night. But I guarantee you, those calculations, sooner or later, it's going to try and wind up in a spot where it could be some wine involved. It could be some romantic settings. The movie where he can place his arm around you, an innocent walk in the park where he can just extend his hand and say, let's hold hands while we're walking. You say, oh, that's so cute. He's so affectionate. But you got to understand, we are some calculating individuals.
Right.
And we're always trying to one up. Okay, dinner this time. Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? And so you have to be aware of those things. I don't think you're losing any of your female leverage if you decide, once again, where the dates are going. Because, see, what you want to do is you want to exalt the good men. You want to weed out the bad guys. See, the bad guys, sooner or later, they're going to try and take that steering wheel from you. Give me that. It's time for me to drive this car. And when we start driving the car, sometimes it could be a long and painful ride. So I would recommend that, you call the shots in the initial stages, because the good men are going to understand exactly what you're doing, and they are going to appreciate it. I promise you that. They are going to appreciate it. They're like, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, see, the good men are going to go home and say, yes, I found a lady with standards. Yes, I found a lady with morals and yes, thank you. Finally. See, the good guys know exactly what you're doing, and they're not going to have any problem going through that process because they're going to respect what you're doing, and they're going to respect you. See, and those are the traits, as I always tell young ladies, or ladies in general, those are the traits that men look for when they're looking for a wife, a fiance, that respect. See, because ladies, if you do not make a man respect you, it's not going to happen. It ain't happening. That respect is not just going to fall out of the sky. Nope. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to disrespect you. That just means he's not going to respect you to the highest capable, to the highest degree that you deserve. Like I said, he's just going to sit back, be quiet, play it however you play it, and just adapt and to what however you play in the situation. So that's totally up to you, but that's what I would do if I were a lady.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate your call. All right, we got a super chat from Amy Sue. Thank you so much, Amy Sue, for the super chat. She says, what characteristics tell a man a woman is green? How can a woman know that a man only wants her because she is green? That's a multi-layered question, Ms. Green. I'm sorry, Amy Sue. I'm gonna try my best to answer that. But let's talk about what green is. Green is basically, just the term that means that you're not able to recognize game off the bat. And how do you recognize game? See, recognizing game, people, that's going to take. I'm not trying to wish nothing bad on anyone, but that's what we call basically going through the school of hard knocks. And I'm going to try my best to describe it to you, but usually people who have the men and women who can spot game a mile away have PhDs from the school of hard knocks. What do I mean by that? We got played. You want to know how you get knowledge, how you recognize game? Game gets ran on you, and then you learn from that. Now, is that always the way in which it happens? Not all the time, but usually the ones who are at the top, who understand, who could spot it a mile away, has had it done to them. And they just get to a point where they're like, nope. I saw that movie before. I know what's going on. You're not going to do that to me. So Uh, what do men look for? See, some of the things men look for is, number one, how do you react when they put certain things out there? Okay, what do I mean by that? See, men will ask you certain questions. And they may ask you a question like, tell me something about yourself. And so when you start revealing certain things about yourself, let's say you say, well, my name is Monica. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. I was raised by my mother. My father died when I was young. He's listening for certain things that you may tell him that signify that you really haven't been exposed to certain things. For example, see, a lot of the dogs, the players, the F-boys, the A-holes, whatnot, see, a lot of times they are looking for ladies who either did not have a father in their life or did not have a strong male figure in their life, because they figure that, okay, if you didn't have a man in your life to try and tell you about some of the things that I'm getting ready to do to you, my chances of what I'm about to do to you or what I'm going to try to do to you are going to increase. And so one of the ways in which men can try and feel their way around is ask you certain questions, like your background. And then, if you start revealing to them, well, in certain instances, maybe your mother and father may have had a divorce. Your father may have died early, or maybe your father was not in your life. See, men will pick up on things such as that, and they say, "Ooh, okay, no pops in your life," because men understand if you grew up and you didn't really have a strong male figure in your life to tell you certain things. They understand if you begin to like them and you take them home, their attitude is, man, I'm going to charm the pants off your mama. This is a slam dunk. I mean, I don't even have to bring, some men are like, I don't even have to bring my A game. I'll just use my C game. Because when you bring me home to meet your mother, I'm just going to charm the pants. I'm going to charm your mother so good that your mother going to say, ooh, Lord, this boy here, yes, he checked all the boxes. And so a lot of times that's one of the ways in which men can spot, if you're green or whatnot, or if you're not able to spot some of the games that are out there. Another way in which men will spot things is that if you don't have a vetting process in place. See, and this is what I always tell ladies. If a man walks, okay, I'm talking about a man that you're attracted to. If a man approaches you and you are attracted to him, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But he's looking at everything he's looking at your whole body language to see if you're going to sound that alarm. See, men, we got alarms too. So if he approaches you, he's looking for subtle movements or in your body or in your facial features or whatnot that's going to alert him that you are physically attracted to you. One of the biggest things that we look for is these teeth. Nothing wrong with smiling, but showing all of those pearly whites, all 32. Sometimes you ladies, you could give signals away playing in your hair. You could start shifting your body around, and men are looking for those things, because if they see those things, they say, "Uh-oh, she likes me." You see, just subtle things that you can do with your hands and your body language or whatnot. So those are things in which men can kind of look at you and say, okay. You pretty, you fine, but I could tell, you really don't have, you're green. You really can't, because see, a woman who has season to her, she could be attracted to him, but she know, man, I can't show him that. Hell no. Can't show him all my teeth. And see some of them crazy, corny jokes that men crack or tell. And sometimes you'll laugh at it, just to, it may have been halfway funny, but it may not have been that funny. But sometimes you go overboard laughing. He's looking at you, okay, all right, it's just a matter of time before I'm at your place or you at mine or whatnot. So hopefully that answers your question. But the one of the ways in which, even though you may not have experience in spotting games, hey, listen to men like me. Invest in yourself. I'm pretty sure that there are other men on YouTube who have channels that, try and educate young men and young lady on, things to look out for or whatnot. But it's a lot of games being played out there, and if you're not able to spot those things, see, that's how my daddy was able to manipulate. That was one of the ways in which my daddy was able to manipulate my mother, because he realized my mother came from a very, very sheltered background coming out of rural Mississippi. And so, my mother's from rural Louisiana. So she was from rural Louisiana, a little small country town, maybe 500 people at the most. And even though he was from Vicksburg, Mississippi, he went to Chicago early. And he got that street game out of Chicago. And my mother was teaching school, and he was driving trucks. And he was taking the load from Chicago down this way, and that's how they crossed paths. And so he was able to spot, my mother not being aware of some of the conniving and the cunning ways in which men operate. In other words, my mama was all the way green. Couldn't recognize, couldn't spot it. Took everything, took every word that my father said at face value. Didn't turn out good. All right, thank you so much, Amy Sue, for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Hopefully that answered your question. Please feel free to call in if you'd like to. It's 8:19. I may last a few more minutes. Oh, well, this man was in his 60s, and I guess I wasn't giving out. Wait a minute, I got to look at. Okay, she said, oh, well. This man was in his 60s, and I guess I wasn't giving out the cootie cat quickly enough, and he stopped calling me. Yep, I could see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. Somebody said, Ashley Wise said, a guy asked me for my number twice. I said no, but I changed my mind. Is it weird if I give my number out? I did not, as he is very attractive. I am. Who is that? Ashley Y. If you get time, call in. I would love to talk to you about that. If you have time, but I'll try. Okay, so she said a guy asked for my number twice. I said no, but I changed my mind. Is it weird if I give him my number now? I did not, as he is very attractive. I am intimidated. Okay. Well, first of all, Ashley, there's nothing to be intimidated about. Because at the end of the day, always remember this, Ashley. You have a natural gift, and that gift is called female leverage. You cannot put a price tag on that. There's a reason why he asked for your number twice. Now, he would have asked for your number 10 times if you told him no 10 times. He would have asked for your number 20 times if you told him no 20 times. Hold on for a second. Hello, caller.
Hey.
Well, good evening. How are you? What's your name and where are you calling from?
I am calling from North Carolina.
Another one. Go ahead now. I must be popular. I must be popular in North Carolina.
You must
Yo, how are you?
be.
What's your name?
I'm Tanea.
Uh, oh, you're in the chat.
I am.
Yes, yes. Tell us about your situation. You met a guy in his 60s?
I did, and I've known him for some years now.
Mm-hmm.
And we started off just talking, and like we could never get together to go anywhere. So that weekend before Valentine's Day,
Mm-hmm.
we went somewhere really nice,
Mm-hmm.
and the dinner was probably about $300.
Wow.
And so, a few weeks later, we went somewhere else, and so like he suggested this place, like less than 10 minutes from his house, and he was like, "Well, we can still keep this party going because this restaurant about to close." This was the second time we went there.
Yeah.
So I went over there, cause shoot, I wanted to keep drinking.
Thank you.
And so I think he thought he was gonna get some.
He did.
But I just didn't want to get Lord. I want to feel. I'm gonna have to call you back. My baby feel. I'm
I understand.
sorry. All right. Well, have a good night.
Okay, you too. All right. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. All right. That was a great call because it goes back to a previous call. The caller was from Baltimore, if I remember correctly, and she talked about would it emasculate a man by her dictating where the date, the place, the time, the location of the date. And I said, no, it's going to keep your female leverage. Now, if you paid attention to that caller who just called, she talked about a date. And if you remember, she said the restaurant was about what? She said 10 minutes from the guy's house. That's what men do when we dictate where the date is going to happen at. As I told the caller from Baltimore, I said, you got to be careful because men, we understand 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4. We're very cunning. If you allow us to select where the date is going to be, the place and the time and the location, if you allow us to do that, we're thinking, we're calculating. And just like she just said, it was a calculated decision that the man said, I'm going to choose a restaurant about 10 minutes from my place. And then we're going to have some drinks. And then remember what she said. She said, the guy said, man, this place about to close down. Let's take this party somewhere else. So where do you think he was talking about taking the party somewhere else? That's why I try and tell ladies, you got to think. You have to think. Men, we have a natural instinct to dominate. And so that natural instinct is always there. And if you allow us to dictate where that date is going to take place, it's going to be so innocent. You won't even see it coming. Why? Because we're calculating, we're cunning. What we're trying to do is we're trying to arrange steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 for that date to eventually wind up at our place or your place. Now, if it doesn't happen that night, we're just going to continue where we left off. Okay, let's say we left off on step 3. The next time we set up a date, we're going to pick it up at step 3 and try step 4, it's never going to stop. That's how we are. It will not stop. So that's why I tell ladies, if I were a lady, I would pick the date, time, location of the dates in the initial stages. Because once again, if you let us do it, we're calculating. Same way that man picked that restaurant. He knew it was 10 minutes away from his house, a short drive. Let's have some drinks. Okay. People, you think he didn't know what time the restaurant closes? You really think he did not know what time that restaurant closes? He knew exactly what time it closes. Why? Because he's been there before. He's been doing this. So he knew. If he knew the restaurant closes at 11 o'clock, okay, the date's going to start at 10 o'clock or whatever. Or if the restaurant closes at 9 o'clock, the date starts at 8 or 7:30. And he's going to try and keep you there till closing. The lights flick on. Hey, I don't know where you're going, but you got to get the hell up out of here. So now they running people out. So now, hey, let's keep this party going. Let's go somewhere else. Come on, ladies. Got to think. Got to think. We're always calculating. All right. Somebody said, oh, she was rolling around in the bed. Tell him to email, then put him. That's right. Put him on ice. Okay, phone lines are open. If anybody would like to call in, 78 days are back. Thank you so much. Lady Ray's in the house. Miss Smar, thank you so much for calling in. All right, phone lines are open. 8:28 my time. If there are no more calls, we'll go ahead and end it. Great calls. Coach Patty said, legs closed, stay off your back. That's some great advice, lady, Coach Patty. All right, so Coach Patty says, legs closed, stay off your back. Keeping your eyes open to these games will have those with bad intentions running for the hills. Very well said, Coach Patty. Very well said, Coach Patty. Again, ladies, you want to have some type of process, as Coach Patty just alluded to make the bad guys run for the hills. Because they're just trying to get in and get out as quickly as possible. They don't care they don't care about the damage that's done. They don't care about breaking your heart. They don't care about causing you depression. They don't care about, you having heartaches and mental anguish. That's the last thing that they're thinking about. They're on to the next victim. All right, somebody said, what's the country code? I tried. It's on the screen. The phone line is on the screen, 225-317. I'm sorry, 225-397-6922. That was for Charmaine Joseph. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Elsie, and I'm calling from Tennessee.
Tennessee. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. You said your name is Elsie?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for calling, Elsie. You got a comment? You have a question? Or what can I help you with tonight?
I do. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank you for everything you're doing. I really appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you as well.
So I had a question in regards to I was listening to Kevin Samuels. He was saying that after a certain age, especially if you're a woman after 40 years old, which I am, that we're only fooling ourselves and that men are not willing to wait. They're not willing to wait and date, and that we're delusional, thinking that we're still young and that we should lower our
standards. And I just wanted to ask you, what do you think? What is your take on that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I think that if you're allowing someone else to tell you your worth, I I I think that you're in for a long and miserable life.
Mm-hmm.
See. If okay, let me tell you something about men, how we operate. All right, I'm just going to preface this with a short story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one of the most lucrative businesses in the world has always been a pawn shop. Why has a pawn shop always been a lucrative business? In other words, why does a pawn shop make so much money? A pawn shop is one of the most lucrative businesses in the world because the person who either owns the pawn shop or manages the pawn shop, they understand that the name of the game is no matter whatever the product or the commodity that's being brought in that store, you got to devalue it. You got to devalue it no matter what it is. So if somebody brings in a ring and the ring is worth $5,000, a 3-carat ring or whatnot, and it's worth $5,000, the owner of the pawn shop looks at that ring. He knows it's worth $5,000, but in order to make the profit he wants, he has to devalue it. So he says, nope, it's not worth $5,000. He said, nope, I'll give you $750 for this ring. So he just devalued a ring that's worth $5,000 all the way down to $750. Now, depending upon how desperate, it's the reason why I use that word desperate, or unknowing is the reason why I use the word unknowing. See, if a woman does not know her worth and you allow someone to tell you where you fall at, then you're just like that person who walked in that pawn shop and your product was worth X amount of dollars. The person told you, nope, it's not worth X amount of dollars. It's worth this. You bought into it. And as soon as he got the goods, you walked out the door, he jacked it back up. See, that's where this term, this high value man thing, that follows exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about the pawn shop. See, now this thing has been flipped upside down, where men are telling women, girl, you ain't the prize. I'm the prize. See, that's how you devalue someone. And then you say, okay, now if you want me, I'm the CEO of this Fortune 500 company. Do you see the titles, the initials that are behind, the letters that are behind my name? My name is John Doe CPA. My name is John Doe MD. My name is John Doe Esquire. So if you allow somebody to devalue you and then you don't understand your worth, you're desperate, and as soon as you've been devalued, he jacks it up, and you say, well, wait a minute. If I want that high value man, I got to meet his standards. See, that's just old school pimping, where somebody just finessed you with just talk. Now, if you believe it, that's up to you if you believe it. I can't tell you what to believe. But if you allow someone to tell you what you're worth, then, all I can tell you is you need to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, you need to assess yourself. So hopefully that answers your question. But in this world that we live in today, I see a lot of men who have flipped the script, and now they got women pursuing them. They have women competing for them. Now, going back to what I just said, now you got high value men saying, okay, if you want to be in my corner, if you want to associate with the circle of friends that I associate with, you want to be a high value woman, you want this high value man, you got to sleep with me within a week, or you got to sleep with me within 2 weeks. Now, all I want you to do is, if a man tells you that, just ask him what would he do if he were a woman. Ask him, okay, that same advice you gave me. If I want to be with you, you define yourself as a high value man. So if I want to be with you, I got to sleep with you within a week. Would you do that if you were a woman? Guarantee you he wouldn't say it. Why? Because it's game. Game requires manipulation. Game means, first of all, somebody had to create it. And then someone had to create the rules that help benefit them to win. And I see so many women just falling victim to this. I'm like, Lord, how did you fall for that foolishness? Mm-hmm. All it is talk. See, if you allow a man to take your female leverage from you and we transfer it to us, oh my goodness, you in for a long ride. And that ride is going to be long. It's going to be bumpy. It's going to be extremely difficult. It could wind up with some crying. It could wind up with some depression. It could wind up with some suicidal thoughts. It could wind up with you in the abortion clinic. It could wind up with you in the jailhouse. It could wind up with you in the crazy house, a mental institution. And guess what? That same man is just going to keep rolling like an 18-wheeler, like you never existed. Mm-hmm. So, again, I just challenge you to take assessment of yourself. You got to ask yourself, am I the prize? Because if you are the prize, number one, if you recognize you're the prize, you need to have a system in place to make men compete for you. Because I'm going to tell you about what's a so-called high-value man. Stop getting caught up, you ladies, stop getting caught up in these titles. Oh, well, he's a CEO for this Fortune 500 company. He's a medical doctor. He's a brain surgeon. He's a heart surgeon. He's a CPA. Listen, that's what he does for a living. That's what he does for a living. He's still a man underneath. That's where I feel that so many ladies are getting caught up in this. That's what he does for a living. He's still a man. What do I mean by that? He still will pursue you. But you've let him spit some words to you that devalued you, the same way I use that pawn shop mentality. So he devalued you, and then he increased his value, and you fell for it. And out of desperation, or maybe out of lack of knowledge of who you are, you fell for it. And like, who was that? Britney Spears said, oops, I did it again. See? Hopefully, did I help you out with my explanation?
Yes, most definitely. And I do agree with you. I was just, I wasn't confused about what he had said, but I was shocked, because he said that the majority of men and that we have to be realistic of what men think and the way they view a woman at a certain age after she's had children and is a certain age,
Okay, let me ask you a question. What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Well, no, I agree with you. I think that if a man is really interested in me, he'll wait and respect until I'm ready.
There you go.
And it should just flow. And it doesn't matter how old you are, respect is respect. And it's, it is what it is. However, this man was saying that that women of a certain age are being delusional and saying that we deserve and that, that we're the prize, that it's ridiculous because he sees it like that men see women as, value and that we've lost value because we're older. We've had kids and pretty much, yeah, that we're not, we don't have the same value as a younger woman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Listen.
To have those expectations, he was saying that it's just, delusional, and that we have to wake up and see the reality, which I was not in agreement with what he was saying, but I was shocked, and I just, I asked myself, is this really the way men think? You know?
Well, again, see, your attitude has to be, regardless of how men think, your attitude has to be, the hell with that. What do I think? See, don't worry about what someone else thinks. Because again, it all comes down to the word I just talked about. It's called game. Every game has to have a creator. Somebody had to invent the game, and then somebody had to put rules in the game to help them benefit to win. Mm-hmm. So of course somebody's going to devalue you if they're trying to get something out of you. That's why I use that same analogy about the pawn shop. That's why a pawn shop is one of the most lucrative businesses in the world. Because they're going to devalue, they know whatever commodity comes in, if it's a gold ring, it's worth $10,000. Say, nope, it ain't worth $10,000. It's worth $500. Mm-hmm. And if you don't understand that, you sell that ring that's worth $10,000 for $500. As soon as you walk out the door, boop, price tag in the window. This ring, $11,000, $12,000, whatever. Because he understood you didn't know the value, or let's say you did know the value, you were desperate. Mm-hmm. See, women, men can spot desperation on your face a mile away. Let me say that again, women. If you are desperate for a man, we can spot that a mile away. And so all we know is, okay, I'm going to devalue you. I know you're a virtuous woman. I know you have good qualities. I know you have good characteristics. I know that you are a loving, kind, compassionate, caring, and generous woman. I know these things. But guess what? I'm going to use you up. Why? Because you allowed me to do it. And see, you can't be desperate. Just because a man makes X amount of dollars, he'll spot that a mile away and use that against you, and you'll just be a sex kitten. Mm-hmm. Didn't I tell you, ladies, men, we are cunning? What does cunning mean? We crafty. We will stay up all hours of the night trying to think of ways to manipulate you, to beat you down mentally, to devalue you, to make you seem small and we seem here. And you cannot, if you fall for it, well, if you have fallen for that, hopefully you listening to me and you don't fall for it anymore. But it's all game. It's all talk. That's all it is. And if you fall for that foolishness, then shame on you. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully that helps you out. But again, you got to look in the mirror. You got to ask yourself, what is my value? What is my worth? Only you can answer that, because if you allow us to define who you are, it's going to be low. Mm-hmm. It's going to be low. Why? Because you got something that we want. And it could be sex, it could be money, it could be your time, it could be food, it could be whatever. It could be booty calls, it could be friends with benefits, it could be F buddies. You may be investing in our business. With us, with men, it doesn't matter. As long as whatever needs we want, we have, you meeting those needs, men don't care. Use you up like a dish rag and throw you on the side. So you need to define your self-worth, have your standards, whatever your standards are, don't drop your standards. I guarantee you there's a man out there that will meet you exactly where you are. But like I always say, he's going to adjust on how you play it. So your standards are low, you got low self-esteem, men will spot that a mile away. We could spot in your voice when you don't really believe in yourself. We could spot that in your tone, how you speak. So, oh shit, I got some. I mean to curse. Oh Lord, I got one here. She got low self-esteem. Ooh, I'm about to raid your bank account. What? And then you one of these high-earning women, and you got low self-esteem, and you desperate. Oh my goodness, I'm about to have the best Christmas I ever had on you. I'll max out your credit cards. We'll max out, man, please. We'll go on your kids. You ladies, you better understand. How men don't care. Well, let me stop. I'm about to say some things I may regret. But anyway, I hope that answered your call. And don't be a stranger. Have a vetting. Let's talk about your vetting process. You got a vetting process in place to weed out these type of men?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of, I've been listening to you, and I never thought about the email, option. And so I haven't tried it yet, but I'm looking into that, and just taking it easy, being more, aware and alert, and taking my time and getting to know people, instead of rushing into stuff, and asking more questions, not shrinking back and thinking, I used to be a people pleaser, or I used to be like shy to ask or think that they would get bothered. And so now I'm working on that to be,
okay.
To be,
yeah. What's your name again?
Elsie.
All right, Elsie, let me help you out with something. Okay. See, what you just described to me that you have in place, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna give you my opinion on it. See, on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as vetting a man, what you just told me you have in place is about a 1. And let me just tell you why. I promise you, I'm not trying to cut you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to give you some constructive criticism. Know why I said it's 1? Because everything that you just named out that you use to try and vet a man is all based on talk. See, a man, a man who has this much game will recognize, okay, your vetting process only requires talk. So what do I need to do to get what I want? Lie, L-I-E, all day. See, you got to have something that requires more than just talk, because we will adapt to that and just tell you lie after lie after lie after lie. We will lie all day and all night.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I promise you, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. And what you just called out, see, all that, everything you just described requires a man to talk. And we'll take that all day, because we just going to make some stuff up that we think you want to hear. So, I would just advise you to come up with a process that has some more teeth to it to make him present his true colors,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got some real, there are some men out there that can, that deserve some Academy Awards and some Oscars, because they are that good of actors. Plenty. Mm-hmm. Any state and any city you're in. There are some men out there that deserve some Oscars and some Academy Awards for acting. They're that good at it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking out more for actions too,
Well,
not just what they say, but what they do.
But you have to have you got to have a vetting process in place that forces him to put forth actions, because that talk is not going to get it. I promise you that, because he's just going to lie his behind off. Because see, you are a walking invitation for married men in committed relationship. The dogs, the players, the a-holes, the F-boys. See, what you just described, you're a walking invitation for them. Because all they got to do is, I'm lying. I'm going to lie and say, I'm single when I know I'm married. I'm going to lie and say I'm single when I know I'm in a committed relationship. I'm going to lie and say I go to church when I ain't been to church in 25 years. If you say you're a good Christian woman and all that, he's just going to listen to what you're saying, and he's just going to come up with lies to match up with your qualifications. So you got to be very wary of that.
You're right. You're right. That's why I'm educating myself and just, because everything you've said, it's already happened to me. So yeah, I'm trying. I'm working on me, and educating myself, and so I can have something in place. So I'm really interested in your book, and so
the book would be a great starting point, and
yeah,
you could get it. You could call in. We could talk. You could email me.
yeah,
I'll be glad to help you out. But the book is basically just a vetting process to exalt the good guys, the potential Mr. Rights, and get the dogs and the players and the alphas and all of them, get them out of your life as quickly as possible. Because those are the ones that have you this close to going to the crazy house, or this close from going to the jailhouse.
Because, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The thing with me is that I'm naturally, like, I'm a girly girl. I'm really, I'm soft. I don't like to be, to confront people. I don't like to, so I don't know if that's why I've been taking advantage of also. And I want to kind of balance that out. Like, I want to be who I am, but yet be mentally alert and, with my eyes open and knowing what's going on, instead of just being like gullible. That's how I used to be, gullible, and it caused me a lot of pain,
Of course. Yeah.
See, and so,
yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
Yeah. The book would be a great start, or you could call in, or you could email. I mean, we could have dialogue through email or whatnot. But I just want to make sure that you have some type of system in place to properly vet these men. In other words, you gotta make these men show you their hand, whether they are the man that's right for you or the men who are just playing games. And so you got to make them show their hands as quick as possible. Because the ones that's playing games, they're gonna come to you as angels. They're gonna come to you as choir boys. They're gonna come to you as being angelic and so wholesome. Because you're not gonna be able to, you won't be able to spot them. See, think about a bank, any bank. Think about a bank that has no security.
Right.
Somebody can just walk in off the streets, go straight to the vault, get all the money out the vault, and just walk clean out the door. The bank had no security, no vault, no police on duty. To me, what you're saying, it kind of sounds like that's the scenario you have. You don't have any security in place to weed out these bad guys. It's like you're a house with $2 million in it, but you don't have any burglar bars. You don't have any security around your house. You're not in a gated community. You're basically in a house with, and you got the doors wide open, and somebody can just walk in and get the $2 million and get the hell up out of there.
So that's a terrible thing. Yeah.
See, somebody left a great comment. I'm gonna see if I can find it, but they talked about guarding their heart. Miss Chantel, that's a great comment that she left. She said, "This is why we must guard our hearts. The dating game is vicious." That's an excellent point. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Kiera Chantel. That's an excellent point. See, if you don't guard your heart, you got to understand there are men that don't give a rat's behind about your heart and how much pain and agony and depression and hurt they cause your heart. They really don't. And so you could be lying in your bed and, you know, you don't want to open the draperies and don't want to allow light to come into the room. And your girlfriend's trying to call you. You don't want to talk. You don't have an appetite. You're losing weight, all that depression. And he's still doing his thing, living his life.
Right.
So like Kiara said, you gotta guard your heart.
Yeah, that's right. You're absolutely correct because everything you said, it already happened to me, and it's true. They don't care, you know, and I've come to the conclusion that, you know, that it was my fault, even though I did it. I didn't do it purposely. I didn't want that to happen to me, but I'm taking accountability now, and I'm seeing, you know, the things that got me to that point.
There you go.
And so I'm trying to work on me to, like you said, you know, to protect myself.
Yes.
And to take care of me because nobody's, you know, I've learned that nobody's going to do it for me.
That's true. What city do you live in, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in Nashville.
You're in Nashville?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I can just imagine what the dating scene is like in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't had much luck, but right now I'm just focusing on me. You know, I'm focusing on, you know, working on my mindset, you know, physically, mentally, and, you know, spiritually too. Like you said, you know, guard your heart. And so I'm trying to work also on not being so emotional and thinking more with logic, but yet still not losing my femininity.
Yes.
Because there was a time where it was like I just shut myself down.
Yes.
You know, and so that didn't work neither. So I'm just trying to find that balance.
I totally understand, and I wish you all the luck in that. But yes, please protect your heart because the depression is not a good thing.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for your time. It was really cool being able to get through, and thank you for answering my questions and keeping it real.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
Thank you for calling. I really appreciate it, and thank you for listening. And don't be a stranger. Feel free to call in whenever you like.
Okay, I will.
All right, take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, there were a couple of people who called in. That's one right there. There we go. Hello, caller. How you doing? Hello? Caller, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, good. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Ashley and I'm from Canada.
From Canada?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, so what's your name? One more time.
Yeah, it's Ashley. ASHLEY.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling. You got a comment? You have a question?
Yeah, I sent a message in the chat about the guy at the gym who asked for my number twice, and I didn't give it to him because I'm just really intimidated by him. I don't know why. He's really handsome, really good shape, so I said no. But like now that I said no, like he's kind of been on my mind a little bit, and yeah. So I thought, I'm wondering if it's weird if I go up to him now and just like hand him my number or my email. I should be giving him my email on a piece of paper or.
Okay.
No.
Well. let me just ask you a couple of questions to make sure we're on the same page. Okay.
Yeah.
So at the gym that you attend, there's this guy he's basically been scoping you out, and then he eventually came up to you and he asked for your number.
Yeah.
Okay. So
like he started with small talk, and then finally he asked for my number, and then I said, I'll think about it, and then he asked again, and I said no.
Okay. All right. So now you're having second thoughts that you may give it to him. Give him your phone number.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
no, it sounds good.
All right. Let me just give you my advice on this from a male perspective. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See. Okay. The first time you told him, you said you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And then the second time you said no.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. I got you now. All right. Now, I'm guessing this is a guy that you find physically attractive and attracted to, and if it is, absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, very.
Okay. So let me just give you some advice from a male perspective. So
Okay.
if you see him again, Ashley, and let's say you walk up to him, let's say his name is Brett, and you say, hey, Brett, how are you doing? I thought about, you asked me for my number on a couple of occasions. I said no. I had a change of, I changed my mind. I'm going to give you my number. See, from a male's perspective, if you do that, what you just did is you have inflated his ego, because when that happens, we feel that we've won. Even though it may seem very small to you, you may not even give it any second thought. You may be saying, well, it's only a phone number. But see, what happens to us, Ashley, when you give us that number, when you said I'll think about it the first time, and then you said no the second time. Now the next time you see him, you decided to give him the number. See, the first thing that pops into our mind, well, before anything pops into our mind, our ego has just swelled up. It just see now our ego has been inflated. Let me tell you why it has been inflated. Because again, we feel like we've won. Now, even though it's just a phone number, and you may be saying, well, it's just a phone number, I don't see how you come to that conclusion. See, we feel like we've broken you down and got that number, and that elevates what I call our natural instinct to dominate. So when we get that phone number and we put your phone number in our phone, you have to understand, if you find that man physically attractive, once again, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But guess what? You know how many other women find him physically attractive
I know.
too?
I see it. Yeah, I see it as a gym stuff.
Exactly. So when you give him the phone number, he's going to put your name in the phone with your number, and he's going to put you in that rotation with all the other women that he's already dealing with. Because no man is going to drop all of his contacts, all of the ladies that he's conversating with, for someone who he just met, because he doesn't know if it's going to work out with you. So he's not going to delete any contacts that he has in his phone, who he's conversating with on social media, the dating apps, none of that. So now you got to compete with all of them, and he's going to just start working your magic. And see, one thing you may not know about men, or you may know this, nothing excites us more than new booty. Nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So you what we call fresh booty, new booty. In other words, we have not had sex with you yet. So I don't know the gentleman. I don't know him. I'm just trying to give you some points and tips from a man. Once you get into this rotation, he's going to text you. He's going to call you. He's going to try and set up dates that are beneficial to him to try and get you in his bed or your bed. Why? Because you have revealed to him that you like him. So see, right now you are in a great place. Why? Because you got him thinking about you. See, I want you to understand this. See, when you tell a man no, oh my goodness, we try harder. When he sees you at the gym, he's not going to just look at you and just say, I quit. He's going to come, he's going to continue to pursue you. And that's when men are at their best, when you have us in compete mode. Now, if you give him the number, that compete mode was here, it's gonna hit the floor. Because we're like, well, shit, why should I compete? You are capitulating to my wishes. So now your female leverage has been transferred to us, to the guy. There's a good chance he's going to put you in his phone number. Then he's going to roll out the red carpet. He's going to talk so good. He's going to tell you how much he likes you, how much he wants to be around you, how much he wants to get to know you better. He's going to say all the right things. It's going to be calculated. It's going to be cunning. And if you don't understand where this is coming from, there's a good chance that you may fall for those kind, sweet words, and you think that this man is really, really liking you, but actually he sees you as a sexual conquest. Now, on the flip side, he could be Mr. Right. He could be the man that's perfect for you. He could be your soulmate. But if you don't have a vetting process in place and you start allowing him to call the shots when he's going to call you, when he's going to text. One of the things we always pay attention to when we text, how quick did you respond? How fast did you respond? Did you respond in 30 seconds? Did you respond in a minute? Did you respond less than 5 minutes? Did you respond within an hour? And we start taking notes of these things. But if you keep your female leverage and you learn how to put him on ice and have him thinking about you, see, that keeps you keep your female leverage. You keep him in compete mode. You keep him desiring you more, because that's when we are at our best, when we are competing for you. So if you want to give him your number, hey, that's totally up to you, because like I said, he could be Mr. Right, but also he could be a F-boy. He could be a dog. Yeah. He could be a player. He could be an a-hole. He could be a pickup artist. He could be a manipulator. He could be one of those alpha males who's only out for a sexual conquest to see how many notches he could put on his belt. He could be one of those. So that's a huge gamble. But if I were you, I would hold on to my female leverage, because the harder you play to get, the more he's going to pursue you. And the more he pursues you, the more he elevates you in his mind, as far as who he's pursuing on the cell phone. And once again, when you got a man in the compete mode, he's competing for you. That's what I would do. Mm-hmm. You got him in an excellent place. Cause see, it sounds like what you're thinking is, well, he's so cute, he's so fine. If I don't give in to him, he's gonna go with somebody else. Nope, don't work like that. The more you dig in and make him work, the more he's gonna work harder. You got him right where you want him. I promise you do. If you keep playing hard to get,
I didn't even mean to.
Huh?
I didn't even mean to put him there, but yeah, that's perfect. I just not to hit you off, I just noticed now, like ever since I said no, like after every time I say no or I'll think about it, like he avoids me for a little bit and then he'll kind of come back again and like start talking and.
Okay, why is that? Why is that? What do you think? You got him.
Maybe I'm hurting his ego a little bit.
You have him in compete mode. See, okay. See, men, understand this, Ashley. Men, we hate to lose. See, you have him right where you want him, because now you're showing him, no, son, I'm not like the rest who you dealing with in this cell phone, who's going through that wash, spin, and rinse cycle, just like a washing machine. I'm not like them. You want me? You got to put in some work, son. And he's showing you he's willing to put in the work. Now, what I would advise you to do is, if this is somebody you eventually that you are attracted to, I let him talk till he's blue in the face. Eventually, I would say, whatever his name is, hey, Jeff, you know what? I like your persistence. I'm not going to give you my phone number. I'll give you my email. You have a dummy email account set up. That's going to set him in a higher compete mode. And then you just keep going from there. But I promise you, your female leverage, it's working. Because if you notice, and you just said it, You said you told him no on multiple occasions. What happened? He's right back in your face, right?
Mm-hmm.
Young lady,
he drifts off a little bit, and then he drifts back.
Of course.
And makes a little joke or something small.
Ashley, he's going to continue to come back. And so, like I said, if this is a guy that you're interested in, you want to give him a shot, hey, just give him a slight compliment and just say, I like your persistence. I'm not going to give you my number. I'm going to give you my email address. That's what I would do. Now, if you want to give him your phone number, I highly recommend you go out to get one of these cheap disposable phones where, you could put some minutes on it or whatnot, and you use that just to vet. That's what I would do. But I would keep, if I know how men operate. Again, when we're in compete mode, we are at our best. You got it in compete mode. That email is going to keep him in more compete mode. It's going to increase his compete mode. And then you go from there, and then that's when I say when he sends you the email, you put him on ice, have a 24-hour, maybe a 48 at the max 72-hour rule. When you get back with him, when he asks you out on the date, just say, that sounds interesting. Let me think about it.
Okay.
See,
I hate that we go to the same gym. It's so awkward.
See, all you're doing is giving him small hints that lets him know you're in the game. Don't blow it. Just keep working. And that's what it's all about. Let him know you're in the game. I like your persistence. I'm not going to give you my phone number. I'll give you an email. Okay? You're in the game. Don't blow it. Keep working. He sends the email. Like I said, you tell him, that sounds interesting. Let me get back with you. He knows he's in the game because you said, that sounds interesting. Let me get back with you. See, you got to let men know you're not priority number one in my life right now. You got to let him know that. See, you got to be able to flip the script on him, especially if he's one of those super, super, super attractive dudes that's, just been blessed. Yeah. See, those types that have been, that have been, blessed genetically with the looks and the body. See, those types, you really got to make them work, because they already think they're God's gift to women. They already think that. Why? Because so many women have told them that. And so don't get caught up in that rotation that he already has. Because believe me, he has a sexual rotation going on already. But like I said, he could be Mr. Right, and he will compete for you, and eventually he'll say, you know what, I like this lady. She has standards, she has morals, she has values, she's making me work. I like the process that she's sending me through. This is the woman I'm going to bring home to mama. This is the woman who I want to marry. That's how you do that, because you got to flip the script on him. And trust me.
Yeah, I'll need the ebook.
Trust me, he
don't
will
think you
work.
have the ebook yet, but
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said I think you're working on it, getting the book into an ebook, so I'll need that because I'll be lost after the email.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I'm still in the process of getting the ebook out, but I promise you, if you give him that phone number, you have just swelled his ego so much, because he's gonna think, okay, I won that battle.
Okay, I'm not gonna give him my number then.
So, hey, call in and keep me posted. I would love to know how it's working out for you. But you trust me. Listen, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Ashley. He's thinking about you right now. I guarantee you. That's just how we are wired. The ones that
I don't know. He seems like he's avoiding me a lot. Like I would prefer, because we go to the same gym, and people will be like, "Hey, like a great offer," because the gym's pretty small. So
no, you said he's avoiding you?
Yeah, it's really awkward. Kind of, yeah.
No. He's probably trying to come across as not being creepy or not trying to be overly aggressive. But trust me, if he approached you, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, he's not aggressive at all. No, he's very he's a gentleman.
Yeah.
What I've gotten so far, friendly, no creepy vibes.
No, young lady, hold on. Now, again, it's a thin line between playing hard to get and presenting an environment or attitude that you're not interested. So again, that's why I would say when he approaches you again, and trust me, he will approach. I would use the email. But if you feel comfortable giving him your number, that's totally up to you. But again, with that phone number, you're competing with the other ones that he already has in this.
Okay.
So you're gonna
with the email. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
With the email, I don't want. I feel like if I give someone my email, like they're kind of going to be like, huh, like your email, like I don't want them to like laugh.
You ain't gonna laugh. No. Let me tell you why he will not laugh, because he recognizes that you have standards. See, I know it sounds corny because a lot of ladies have told me that is so corny, but what I want you to understand is men have not changed. Men will work regardless of what you give them. So don't look at the email and say, well, that's outdated. That's in. No. A man who is pursuing you, a man who wants to be your boyfriend, or a man who sees you as his potential wife or fiance or whatnot, all he wants is the slightest bit of contact or information that confirms that he has a foot in the door. Because if you allow both feet in the door, eventually we're just going to swing an elbow and just lean back and just kick the whole door in. So men have not changed. What has changed is men have come up with clever ways to try and flip the script and tell women that you should be pursuing me. Because if you don't pursue me, you're missing out. But there's no such thing as male leverage. Now, if you believe there's a thing called male leverage, then you're going to fall for it. But there is such a thing as female leverage. Otherwise, he would never have been in your face to begin with. And otherwise, other men, no matter where you go, would not be in your face trying to talk to you. So trust me, the leverage is on your side. You just have to recognize it. You just have to know it. And then you just have to implement a strategy that's going to make him work. And trust me, he will enjoy working. We do.
I feel like I'm being mean, but yeah, I guess subconsciously you guys enjoy it. So.
No, it's a necessary precaution, because you got to guard this heart. You really don't know anything about this guy. You really don't.
Yeah.
So you have to send him through some type of vetting process. Otherwise, he's just gonna walk. It's like walking into a bank with no security. He's just gonna walk into the vault, get the money, and get the hell up out of there. You got to be able to protect yourself.
Yeah. Well, I took a lot of notes. I'm taking notes, and I am going to listen to what you told me. I'm not going to give him my number, and if he approaches me again, I will. And if he doesn't, then it's his loss.
Oh, trust me, he's going to approach you. Trust me. And feel free to call in. I would love to get an update, though.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted, and I really do appreciate you taking my call.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
All right, phone lines are empty. I'm sorry, someone tried to call in. There were 2 calls I missed. If you'd like to call in, you can. Lady Ray, there you go, Lady Ray. Lady Ray say he gets an email address or he gets lost. See, that's the attitude that you have to have. See, a lot of people think you're going to lose him. No, you're not. And if he did not accept it, that means he was a game player. Hello, caller.
Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
Evening. How are you doing? Your voice sounds real familiar.
I'm Coach Patty.
Ah, there you go. What's going on, Coach?
Oh, nothing much. I just wanted to thank you for your content and thank you for sharing knowledge to all the young ladies. It's a good thing. I don't see these too much these days, and it's an honorable thing because sometimes a lot of men won't share this advice, so it's much appreciated. So I wanted you to
thank you so much. I really appreciate those kind words.
Yeah, no problem. I say this because too I started doing like coaching and mentoring, not for a living, just on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed this with a young age group as soon as my daughter went away to college.
Mm-hmm.
All these games out here, and how a lot of young women didn't know about, how to navigate through the games and what they needed to do, or maybe they didn't have a father figure.
Yes.
But I got the knowledge from my dad.
There you go.
And men in my family. And my parents have been married 55 years. And so I've been, they've shared this information, and it's kind of the same way I met my husband a while ago. And so everything that you are saying is so very true. I no longer have my husband with me. But it's all of it's true, and the times have not changed. And I often say, when I talk to these young ladies, not in a disrespectful way, but the context of which I'm going to put this in is men are an accessory, not a necessity. And I say this to help these women help understand that the standards that they hold are to the highest regard. And
yes.
If the one that's for you, he'll stay.
Yes.
And that's kind of how I've operated. So I appreciate that you share these things. I hope women, just receive it. And I often say too, if you don't have, the need for nothing attracts everything.
Ooh, that's deep.
And if you don't show that you have any standards, that you don't need anything, everything's going to be attracted to you. You're not going to be able to tell what is what.
Thank you.
And so yeah, this is a great thing. You're doing a great work, and it's a noble.
Give, if you don't mind, if you want to give your contact information, how ladies can get in touch with you for your services, please feel free, because you're offering some great advice, and that's what this whole thing is about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I can I can put in the chat as well.
Okay. Please do that.
Yeah. I often hear with the young ladies too. Well, I'm afraid. What if I do these things? He's gonna not stay, or well, then he wasn't meant to stay.
That's it.
And a lot of times there are people in this world that we're just not meant to be with, and it's okay.
It's okay.
And I didn't think about this until I met my husband when I was 19. I didn't get married at 19. That's when we met. And I was so busy on my mission trying to graduate and not mess up my parents' money. They sent me there, that I was just like, well, if you want to come along this journey, I gotta make sure I graduate, and he stayed along the journey.
That's right.
He did whatever it took.
Thank you.
So that's one way
That's right.
But yeah, I put that comment in the chat about staying off your back, because I believe I tell these young ladies about one of the vetting things that's important, and they're like, well, that's not going to work. No man's not going to. Well, yes, it does work.
It does.
It has.
Yes.
And you're not playing games. All you're doing is seeing what he's really about. And
that's
I
right.
often say, I say to these women, I say, well, sometimes the remarks you have to say is, well, I can't hear what you're saying. Show me. And what I mean by that, he's going to have to show you, not tell you.
Thank you. Because men will lie all day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, and this whole thing is an illusion. There's the female influence, the influence of a woman is strong.
It is.
And it has nothing to do with playing games, but it has everything to do with your confidence and knowing who you are. And the more you just get in your purpose in life,
yes,
those that are meant to be will stay, and those aren't will fall by the wayside.
That's an excellent point. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it goes back to the word I threw out earlier. It just seems like so many ladies who are desperate for a man that they're willing to take anything.
Right.
And it's almost like some of them think, well, a piece of a man is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And if you allow a man to treat you in that type of way, he's going to do it. If he could just pop in and out of your life when he's horny or he wants sex, he's going to take that every day, all day, and say, thank you for coming into my life. because you are meeting all my sexual needs. Nothing more, nothing else. You'll never be my girlfriend. You'll never be my fiance. You'll never be my wife. You'll never come home to meet my parents. You're just going to be a sexual object.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true. And I talk about emotional healing a lot. And one of the things I often say, you don't want to go through life unconscious without a deep understanding of what's going on beyond the surface level of what's happening.
Wow.
You have to do your work, whatever childhood traumas, whatever you went through, to heal from those, and then you'll be on your ultimate path to where you need to be. But at the same time, you keep working, and then someone will come alongside you, and that's when it happens, when you're most of all in your purpose in life. And so,
wow, your business must be booming because.
Well, I do work. I live in San Diego, California. I'm super busy. It was one of the most expensive places to live, but I'm fortunate and very blessed to live here. But I do have a full-time job, and I just started this as mentoring for my sorority, and then it just turned into clients. I don't, but I don't have, I work as a university professor by day, and then when I have time, I'll mentor.
Great.
But I believe that a lot of women need this, and that's kind of why I make time for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is sorely needed, and thank you for your contributions.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll put in the chat my information, and I appreciate you taking my call.
Of course. All right, Coach. Have a good night.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. That was an excellent call. Phone lines are open. Anybody like to call in? Let's see, what time is it? It's about 9:30 Central Time here in Louisiana. So if there aren't any more calls, we may just go ahead and end it. It's been a great evening. I appreciate the phone calls. I appreciate the comments. Thank you. Thank everybody for that. Oh, I know something I forgot to say. To Carol Thomas, I don't know if you're still there in the chat. I did receive your email, and I will respond to your email tonight. You have my word on that. Thank you again for taking time out to email me. I really appreciate it. So, again, I'll take one more call if there aren't any more calls. Or if there's any questions in the chat, or any questions you would like to raise, you can put those in the chat. Well, somebody mentioned Betty Wright. I don't know what y'all know about Betty Wright. Uh-oh. Y'all going all the way old school, making me think back when I used to hear those old ladies playing that Betty Wright back in the day. But she said a lot of profound things. I don't know exactly what you were mentioning in particular about Betty Wright. But, it's amazing a lot of those songs that they made back in the 60s, the 70s, and 80s, maybe early 90s. Some of those songs really, 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 really reached the heart. Somebody said, hold on, let me get this cat. One, you miss some good calls, basically leap your standards high and always maintain your female leverage. Those are the key takeaways for me. Thank you so much for that 78 days. Appreciate the comments. How many we got in the chat? We got 48 in the chat. What's the longest we can go given our personal number? A week, 2 weeks? What's the longest we can go? If you could call in, Janai, I think I understand your question, but I don't know if I'm understanding it. What's the longest we can go? Let's see. Before giving our personal number, it all depends. It's on you. But what I would recommend, Jamie, is that you have a system in place. For example. One of the things that I advise ladies to do is, number one, have a dummy email account set up, and then number two, a burner account cell phone or some type of Google number in case you eventually want to give him your number. But I would say it could vary between, I would say, 1 week and 2 weeks. But in the meantime, between those things, it's very important that you make sure if this is a guy that you're attracted to and you like him, it's very important that you just send real subtle words to let him know that you're interested. For example, that's why I always advise ladies in the initial meeting, when you first meet the guy, when he first approaches you, you know sooner or later he's going to ask you your phone number. One of the things that I tell ladies to do is, before you give him the email address, you already know he's going to ask the phone number. You already know you're not going to give him the phone number. You're going to give him the email address. But one of the things you can do to compliment him before you give him the email address is that you compliment him on his persistence. And you say, you know what? You're a very persistent guy. I like that. See, you sent him a very slight compliment, letting him know that he's exuding a quality that you like. You like his persistence. And then you say, well, I'm not going to give you my my phone number. I'm going to give you an email. And then when the email thing starts, let's say he emails you on a Monday, I advise ladies that you have at least maybe a 24, 48, or 72-hour rule in which you see the email on Monday, you just let it sit for maybe, let's say 24 hours, one day. And then let's say you may email him back that Tuesday or 48 hours that Wednesday and say, when he asks you out, well, you just say, that sounds interesting. Once again, you're giving him a slight indication that what he says is interesting. That sounds interesting. I'll get back with you. And then he'll email you again, or you can email him back once you decide to get back with him, another 24, 48, 72 hours. Basically, that would amount to a week. And then you start with the first date. And then with the dating phase, maybe you can go maybe 2 more times with emails. So it all depends, but I would recommend anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks. And if you feel that he's respected all your boundaries, he's checked all the boxes that you have in place in your vetting process, if you feel comfortable with it, that's why I recommend that you have a dummy, a burner cell phone or some type of Google number that you can possibly give him if you feel comfortable with that. Miss Mahogany Libra said, met him on dating app when I gave him the fake. Okay, I must have came in on something I'm late on. All right, if there are no more calls, we'll go ahead and end it tonight. Thank you so many people who took time out of your schedules to chime in the chat, and thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you for the emails. As I said, Carol, I got your email. I'll be definitely emailing you tonight when I get off. So I wish everybody a great evening. We can pick this up on Monday. No, I'm sorry. We'll pick this up on Thursday. So once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a great day, a great evening.